It's really fascinating, isn't it, how quickly AI is evolving? I mean, just a short while ago, we were mostly talking about AI generating text or
Yeah.
maybe some images.
Well, groundbreaking then.
Totally.
Yeah.
But now the conversation seems to have shifted. We're talking about AI that can actually do things, take actions.
Exactly. And that's what we want to dive into today. This whole evolution, starting with generative AI, moving through AI agents, and then getting into this newer idea, agentic AI.
Right. Breaking down what each one means and how they connect.
Precisely. And we've gathered quite a bit of material for this deep dive. We're looking at reports from big names like IBM, Gartner, McKinsey, PwC,
Okay.
plus insights from companies like Anthropic, NVIDIA, MoveWorks. We've got stuff from Forbes, Harvard Business Review, and even a really helpful YouTube overview from IBM Technology.
Wow. Okay. Comprehensive. So the mission today is what? To make sense of it all.
Pretty much. We want to clarify these concepts, show you how they're being used in the real world, the practical side, and give you a sense of where things are heading, without making your head spin.
Sounds good. Let's start at the beginning then. Generative AI. What's the core idea here? Laying the foundation.
Okay, so the IBM Technology video explains it really well. Think of generative AI as these highly sophisticated pattern matching machines.
Pattern matching.
Yeah. They learn statistical relationships from these massive, massive data sets, text, images, code, audio, you name it. And then, based on a prompt you give it, they predict what comes next.
Like super advanced autocomplete.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. But capable of generating much more complex stuff, like whole paragraphs of text or unique images or even code snippets.
So its main job is creation, generating something new based on its training. The IBM video had a good example, didn't it? Something about a YouTuber.
It did, yeah. It showed how a content creator might use it.
Yeah.
Say, brainstorming script ideas or getting concepts for thumbnails, even generating some background music ideas.
Right. But the human is still very much in the loop at this stage.
Absolutely critical. That's a key point. The AI generates the possibilities, the raw material, if you like, but the human reviews it, refines it, decides what actually gets used. It's curation.
Okay, so it's more like a partner in creation, a co-creator tool, not fully autonomous yet.
Exactly. The video even had that slightly funny example.
Oh yeah, the fan fiction thing.
Right. The host mentioning using a chatbot for writing fan fiction. It's a lighthearted way to show how it can be used for, well, all sorts of creative content, even just for fun.
It makes it relatable. Now,
Okay.
before we move on, we should probably touch on the limitations, right? The risks or caveats with generative AI.
Definitely. And it ties back to that training data.
Yeah.
Generative AI is only as good, or let's say, as representative as the data it learns from.
Meaning?
Meaning if the data has biases, the AI's output can reflect those biases. And it doesn't inherently understand things, it just matches patterns. So that human oversight we mentioned, it's crucial for checking accuracy, relevance, and fairness too.
Okay, that makes sense. Foundation laid. Now let's talk about AI agents. How are these different? What's the step up?
The big difference. Action. AI agents are designed to act. MoveWorks defines them as software that understands its environment, processes info, and then takes action to hit specific goals.
So generative AI creates.
And AI agents do. They can use that generated content or their understanding of a situation to actually perform tasks. That's the key distinction, according to IBM and Gartner.
Right, like that Mount Everest example we saw. Can you walk us through that again?
Sure. So generative AI could analyze data and tell you, okay, based on weather patterns, May is the best time to climb Everest.
Okay, useful information.
Right. But an AI agent could take that information and then actually go and book your flights, find and book a hotel for you. It handles the logistics. It acts on the insight.
Got it. So it moves from providing info to actually executing tasks. And these agents, do they work alone or can they team up?
Both, actually. You can have a single agent for one specific job. But MoveWorks points out that when you get multiple agents working together, their capabilities can grow, like exponentially. They can handle really complex workflows.
Like the customer service example.
Exactly. You could have one agent that's great at understanding language, figuring out what the customer needs. Another agent could then search the company's knowledge base for answers. And maybe a third agent routes the ticket to the right human specialist, if needed. They collaborate.
That makes sense. IBM mentioned some pre-built agents businesses can use.
Yeah, they had these Watson's AI agents. The interesting thing is they're designed for specific business areas, and you don't need to code to use them.
Oh, really? Like what areas?
Things like Human resources, automating employee support, recruiting tasks, onboarding processes, sales agents to automate sales activities, procurement agents for cutting costs and managing suppliers better, and customer support agents for that 24/7 help, grounded in the company's own data.
So potentially a quicker way for businesses to start using this kind of AI without needing a big development team.
That seems to be the idea. And beyond the pre-built ones, IBM also offers platforms like watsonx Orchestrate and watsonx.ai that have these no-code studios, so organizations can build and manage their own custom agents if they need to.
Okay. And we saw another practical example, right? GitHub Copilot.
Yes, that's a great one for developers. GitHub Copilot acts as an AI agent right inside their coding environment. It suggests code, helps find bugs. It's like a pair programmer.
Boosting productivity, I imagine.
Definitely. It lets developers focus more on the creative, problem-solving parts of coding, less on the repetitive stuff.
Now, MoveWorks broke down agents into different types too, didn't they? Based on how they work.
They did. It gets a bit technical, but you have things like uh, learning agents that improve over time, utility-based agents that weigh costs and benefits, goal-based agents focused on achieving objectives, simpler reflex agents that just react based on rules, and model-based agents that kind of maintain an internal map of their world.
So different designs for different kinds of tasks.
Exactly. It shows there's a lot of variety in how you can build an agent, and it seems companies are really buying into this. MoveWorks had that stat.
Oh yeah, the adoption rate.
82%. 82% of companies planning to adopt AI agents in the next 3 years. That's huge.
It really is. But just like with generative AI, there must be things to watch out for, right? Risks?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
NVIDIA warns about potential misuse if you don't have strong guardrails in place.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Right.
And Anthropic really emphasized needing clear documentation for the tools these agents use.
Yeah.
If an agent is booking flights, it needs to understand the booking system, right?
Yeah, but documentation has to be solid.
And Anthropic also suggested keeping the designs relatively simple and modular, rather than building these massive, complex, monolithic agents. Easier to manage, easier to fix if something goes wrong.
Okay, good considerations. So we've gone from creating content with generative AI to taking action with AI agents. What's the next level? Agentic AI. How does this step things up again?
Agentic AI is really about autonomy and complexity at scale. MoveWorks defines it as AI systems with autonomous decision-making, goal-driven actions, the ability to learn and adapt, and advanced reasoning.
Okay, sounds like a mouthful. What's the key difference from just having AI agents?
The main thing is that agentic AI typically uses multiple agents working together autonomously to handle really complex workflows, and they learn and adjust as they go in real time.
So it's not just one agent doing a task or even a few collaborating under direction. It's a whole team of agents working things out for themselves to meet a bigger goal.
That's a great way to put it. MoveWorks uses the analogy of a conductor. The agentic AI system is like the conductor, orchestrating all these different AI agents and systems to achieve those larger business objectives. It's about harnessing collective intelligence autonomously.
The IT support example really helped me grasp this. Can you quickly go over that again?
Sure, so a more basic system, maybe using some AI agents, might just sort IT tickets and send back standard replies. But an agentic AI system, it could understand the user's problem from their natural language message, access different systems to diagnose it, figure out the best solution, and then take the action, like actually resetting a password or configuring something, often without any human needing to step in.
Wow, okay, that's a significant leap. And MoveWorks laid out 4 main characteristics.
Yeah, the 4 pillars, essentially.
Yeah.
First, autonomous decision-making. It can analyze and act independently. Second, goal-driven actions. It plans and executes multi-step processes to reach a goal. Third, learning and adapting. It gets better over time from experience. And fourth, advanced reasoning, which lets it connect to various systems and manage those complex workflows.
And the growth predictions here are pretty staggering too, right? From Gartner.
They really are. Gartner forecasts that by 2028, about 33% of enterprise software apps will have agentic AI built in. That's up from less than 1% in 2024.
Huge jump.
And they also predict that by 2028, something like 15% of our day-to-day work decisions could be made autonomously by agentic AI. That's quite a thought.
It really is. So let's talk about where this is actually being used. What are some real-world examples? MoveWorks mentioned HR and IT again.
Right, but taking it further, in HR, an agentic system might not just handle leave requests, but analyze trends in employee requests automatically. manage the entire onboarding process by coordinating different departments and systems, or personalize benefits advice based on analyzing an employee's situation.
So much more proactive and integrated.
Exactly. And in IT support, we mentioned the password reset, but think bigger. An agentic system managing the whole ticket lifecycle, classifying, searching, communicating, deciding on escalations, setting priorities. Leidos apparently saw a 99% reduction in resolution time using this approach. That's massive.
Incredible. And security, too.
Yeah, spotting unusual access patterns across systems, flagging potential cyber threats, maybe even suggesting fixes proactively.
Okay, and our sources gave tons of other examples across industries, too, right? It felt like a long list.
It really did. Let's see. IBM mentioned personal shopping agents doing everything for you. Harvard Business Review talked about using it to proactively manage complex IT systems to prevent outages before they happen.
Oh, that's interesting. Preventing problems.
Yeah, or dynamically reconfiguring supply chains when there's a disruption like a storm or something. HBR and IBM both mentioned that. And creating really realistic interactions like AI chatbots that can truly resolve customer issues, not just deflect them.
We saw examples in finance, legal.
Right. Analyzing legal documents. PwC mentioned Hogan Lovells getting a 40% speed increase there. JP Morgan Chase uses it for contract intelligence, saving hundreds of thousands of hours, apparently. Loan underwriting.
Supply chains seem like a big one, too.
Definitely. Autonomously placing orders, adjusting production. PwC mentioned Walmart using it. Optimizing shipping demands. PwC cited DHL improving delivery times.
And customer experience.
It's a huge focus. Personalizing recommendations. PwC noted Amazon's success there. Automating ad campaigns. McKinsey found that customer service agents using this kind of tech resolved issues 14% faster and cut handling time by 9%.
Wow. Healthcare. Manufacturing.
Yep. Improving radiology workflows. PwC mentioned Mayo Clinic cutting diagnostic times. Maintenance operations. Siemens AG reportedly cut costs and increased uptime using it. Analyzing seismic data for oil exploration, like BP.
Education. Retail.
Tailoring educational content. Pearson apparently boosted enrollment. Content recommendations like Netflix. Optimizing store stock like Walmart again. Screening job candidates, Unilever saving time and money. Handling massive volumes of customer queries like Bank of America's Erica.
Yeah.
Generating marketing content like Coca-Cola.
It really seems to touch almost every area. Predicting clinical trial outcomes, optimizing supplier selection, monitoring IT systems like Microsoft, providing sales intelligence for Salesforce.
Even identifying opportunities to market to other machines, machine customers, PwC called them. And of course, the security angle, the UK's NCSC noted AI's growing role in both attack and defense. It's incredibly broad.
Okay, so the potential applications are vast. What about the future? What are the big opportunities and trends experts are seeing?
Well, Gartner and PwC both really hammer home the potential for major efficiency gains and better performance overall. It's seen as a way to really transform decision-making by analyzing complex data incredibly quickly.
Empowering people too, right?
Yeah, that's a key theme. Enabling workers to manage complex processes just using natural language. Like you tell the system what you want and it orchestrates the agents to do it. Gartner suggests this could even help overcome some of the maybe disillusionment with earlier AI because it allows AI to actually solve problems that require action.
Right, getting things done.
Exactly. So we'll likely see more and more tasks and workflows become automatable. New ways for agents to collaborate, people using natural language to manage really complex projects. Better situational awareness because the AI can analyze data so fast, maybe even interacting less directly with websites and apps as agents handle that for us.
So the workflow itself might change, designed for AI.
Gartner thinks so. Workflows designed for agentic AI, with humans intervening at key high-value moments. These multi-agent systems tackling problems we couldn't before. MoveWorks talks about moving towards smarter systems, combining reliability with this adaptive intelligence. Better learning, needing less manual training. More sophisticated decision-making.
And the business models.
PwC highlights this shift towards copilot and eventually autopilot modes, and this idea of service as a software, paying for the outcome the AI delivers, not just the software itself. Early adopters gain a big advantage, innovating faster, building deeper customer connections.
And the human role shifts again.
Towards being that copilot, yeah. Focusing on strategy, innovation, overseeing the AI, while the autonomous agents handle tasks with speed and adaptability we haven't seen before.
And Forbes even mentioned AGI.
Yeah, the idea that building agents that can interact with the digital and physical world might be a pathway towards artificial general intelligence. It's a big thought. Anthropic brings it back to basics, though. saying successful implementations often use simple, modular patterns. Tailor the agent to the specific job, make the interfaces easy.
So it's seen as the next big frontier.
Pretty much. Unprecedented automation, transforming industries, making AI smarter, faster, more powerful. That's the overall picture from MoveWorks and PwC.
Okay, that's a lot of potential, but we absolutely need to talk about the other side, the risks, the challenges. What did the sources highlight there?
Quite a few, actually. Gartner warns we could repeat the problems we saw with RPA, building bots and then forgetting what they do or how they work, or employees creating their own ungoverned agentic systems using low-code tools.
Shadow AI, but supercharged.
Kind of, yeah. And if these systems aren't designed well, you could end up with terrible customer experiences. Plus, employee resistance is a real possibility, people worrying about job security or feeling like they're losing control.
And managing these systems.
It requires really advanced tools and very strict guardrails, according to Gartner. IBM points out the obvious but critical risk. If an autonomous system goes wrong, the consequences could be really serious.
And the usual AI risks are still there. Bias, security.
Exactly, but potentially magnified because of the autonomy. Bias, security flaws, privacy issues, ethical concerns. IBM and PwC both stress this. Anthropic adds that errors could compound more easily in an autonomous setup, and the costs of running them might be higher.
So testing becomes even more critical.
Absolutely crucial. Extensive testing in safe, sandboxed environments. Implementing those guardrails NVIDIA and Anthropic talked about. Harvard Business Review also noted that how you put together teams of agents and how they interact with human workers needs careful thought. And remember, they're not foolproof. They can still make mistakes. You need scaffolding, oversight.
Robust security and monitoring seem essential then.
Definitely. Gartner highlights the need for strong identity management, security, monitoring, and clear ethical guidelines covering autonomy. Who's liable if something goes wrong? Security, data privacy. That's vital.
PwC had some pragmatic advice too, right?
Yeah, basically,
Mhm.
don't just jump on the hype train. Take practical steps.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate how complex this is. Don't rush implementation. And critically, never neglect human oversight. Keep humans in the loop.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. We've walked through this progression. Generative AI creates content.
Right, the foundation.
Then AI agents come in, capable of taking specific actions based on information or goals.
Oh, doers.
And finally, agentic AI, which uses multiple agents working together autonomously to manage complex workflows and achieve bigger objectives.
Exactly, that's the evolution. And agentic AI really holds that promise of automating very complex processes, boosting productivity significantly, and driving real innovation. We saw examples everywhere from customer service and software development to supply chain management.
And the big opportunities seem to be around efficiency, smarter decision-making, personalization, and even totally new business models.
For sure.
Yeah.
But always balanced against those significant risks, the need for strong governance, ethical frameworks, tight security, and really thinking about how the workforce adapts to this.
Looking ahead then, it seems clear this trend of increasing adoption of agentic AI, the move towards more autonomous systems, these new service models, maybe even steps towards AGI, it's all happening fast.
It really is. And understanding these trends is, I think, becoming essential for anyone trying to navigate the future of work and technology. Depending on your interests, you might want to dig deeper into how it's being used in your specific industry or the ethical debates, or even how companies are starting to build these agent teams.
Well, this has definitely been a deep dive. Hopefully for you listening, this has helped clarify the distinctions between generative AI, AI agents, and agentic AI, and given you a sense of their power and potential without being too overwhelming.
That's always the goal, trying to give you that shortcut to being well-informed on these complex topics.
So as we close out, here's something to maybe chew on. As these AI systems get more and more autonomous, more capable of independent action, how do we even define work in the future? Or maybe, thinking about skills, with AI agents handling so many complex tasks, what uniquely human skills become even more essential? Something to think about.